everybody, welcome back from get that out of Christmas, and hope you had a great one. I had a great one. I didn't really get anything worth mentioning or reviewing, but otherwise I do have this mouse. Oh, let me get this out of the way. This is the Attack Shark, wait for it, gotta turn it around, X3 mouse. It's just an X3. Now I saw this on Amazon. I got this before Christmas, and it looked kind of like a Superlight clone. And I thought, wow, and it was on sale for $38. And I thought, well, I got to get it, right? Look at the specs. A PAL 3395. It's 2.4 and Bluetooth. No software needed. On the website it says it has KL 8.0 switches. So I mean, it's hitting all the marks. It's 49 grams. I measured it. It is 49 grams. It's wireless, obviously. Yeah, so I got it, and I got the red one because I didn't have red mouse. My camera loves it. It's like freaking out about the color, but this thing is nice. And there's one thing you probably have already noticed about it. It's a mini. It doesn't say it's a mini. On the box, it doesn't say anything about it being a mini. But check it out. Here's the Pulsar Mini. This is the X2, but it's it's the original one, not the new one. But size-wise, very similar. Of course, my lighting is set up for a red mouse, not a black one. But the sizes, look at that. Isn't that cool? I didn't really expect that. And the size and the shape at first kind of threw me off. And I did a review of it, and I thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get a mouse, use it for a week, and do a review. I don't think that's fair. Because, looking at the Superlight for so long and having it and trying it and not liking it until I realized that, hey, I'm using this wrong. My positioning, hand positioning was way off. You live and you learn. And now it's like one of my favorite mice. So I wanted to give this a better try and use it a little bit longer. The problem I was having is the curvature here, which is kind of threw me off. It's a little weird. If you look at it, it's very, curvy. It's like almost an hourglass. And if you look on the bottom of this guy, see how it's kind of squared off. That's what I'm used to, and that's the shape and the feel that I'm used to. And even on the Superlight, it doesn't have the that indentation like that. So, speaking of which, look at the size difference. Boom! Wow. So anyway, I think this is really more like a Zowie clone or whatever, which I don't have, so I can't attest to that. But the size is really nice. It is. I consider it a mini, even though it doesn't say that. If Attack Shark came out with a mini and it was smaller than this, I would be really surprised. It would be like tiny, like the size of the wheel. But the shape is nice. When your contact points, when you put your hand on it, is right here and right here, which is what I like. But it's tended. I think when I started using it, it was like this. Like I would grab it and it would kind of feel like it was going sideways. So I had to make sure that I was putting it in my palm and not relying on my side. So once I did that, it is very responsive. The clicks are very nice, as you can tell. The mouse click, the wheel mouse, the wheel click. I'm a little out of practice of this, after so much eggnog. Side buttons. Great. Okay, so let's get into the features and everything, because the shape is really nice. I like it. Also, the texture is basically the same as the Pulsar, and pretty much the same as the Superlight. So if you like that texture, you're going to like this texture. So on the bottom, you have your DPI switch, and you also have your compartment for your dongle. If you want to take off like a half a gram, you can leave that off if you want to. It doesn't hurt it, I don't think. Yeah, let's leave it off. And then this button is your pulling rate, which goes to 1,000. You can set it to 125 if you want to. And then you got 2.5 and you got Bluetooth. Both. You can just switch it. Of course, if you're gaming, please use 2.4. Don't use the other one. You have light indicators for this stuff. And no software. There's no software needed. I see a lot of these Chinese mice doing that, which is fine because the software they usually have is terrible. But side buttons, as you notice, have this kind of weird, like, it contours really nice. And at first I thought that was a little weird. See that? But it goes along with the shape. So it kind of falls in like this way. Like it's like the form of it is like this instead of like this. See? It looks like it goes like this. But when you look down at it, it kind of comes up a little bit in the back. So I like these side buttons a lot. They're not mushy. They stick out a little bit more. I like when they stick out a little bit more. Like, that is like my threshold. Like, if it goes in any more than that, I'm not digging it. So these are fine, and they are very responsive. The wheel's perfect. It is perfectly fine. Rubber, black and white aesthetic, looks a lot like, the wheel we all know and love. That one too. So I like it along with the red as well. It's great. No problems there. So USB-C, and it does have a shallow spacing, so you can use pretty much any cable you want. It does come with a cable. I don't usually show the cable unless it's something, super nice. This is just a black cable. It's USB cable. It's cloth. It's no big deal. PFTE feet right here. Well, that's not. That's just a sticker. But easy glide. Very light. Super light. 49 grams. This thing is a killer. It really is. Now, when you're going from, say, this one to this one, the shape is going to be different. So if you're used to using like a Pulsar X2 or whatever, the shape is going to feel different because you've got, see the hump. Hump's more pronounced back here, flatter in the front. This has more of a super light kind of shape to it. As you can see, just smaller. It is not a smaller super light though. I will say that. It looks kind of like it, but it's not, because on the super light you don't have as much of an indentation right here as you do on the buttons. See where right here, which I love. I love having that groove where your fingers lay on. And this thickness in the middle is the big difference. It doesn't feel like this mouse because of that hourglass. And I think that's why I like this mouse, is because it does have that indentation in it, and it does make it, even though it's smaller, it makes it feel more responsive. It doesn't feel tiny, but it is. Look at that. No, it's small. And then height wise, I don't know if you can try to, yeah, it's almost as tall as that, but it's not as big. So all in all, this thing is great. And again, this is the Attack Shark wired 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth 5.4 connection, POW 3395, 49 gram X3 mouse. So that's a keeper. I recommend it. It is no longer $38. I'm going to say that. After Christmas, I think it's up to like 45 or almost 50. But even at 50, I would say this is still a contender. I always look at this price point, and sometimes I get made fun of. But the God, this thing's dirty. The G305 from Logitech, you can find for like $29 sometimes. It is a very adequate $30 mouse that will probably last a really long time. These, I don't know what the longevity of them are. They don't have a name that is tied to years and years and years of making mice. So it's, only time will tell. But for a gaming mouse, something that is, close to a different, more expensive competitor, I think give this a try. Even at $50. If you can catch it on sale, even better. Comes in white, comes in black, comes in red. I like the red because I didn't have one. Plus it was, Christmassy. So anyway, try it out. Thanks for watching. See you next time. You guys have fun out there and be kind.